So on your back in Shavasana, if you haven't yet tucked the shoulders under, do so. So you feel broad across the front of the chest. Palms faced up, hips heavy, and calm the muscles in your face. You're just feeling the breath, relaxing everything. Noticing if any thoughts are lingering, instead shifting your focus. Feel the air flow through you, the rise and the fall of the belly. And a bit of life to your fingers and toes. Getting kinks and cracks out of the wrists and ankles. I'll take the arms overhead. Breath in to reach, and exhale to let it go. You can leave the arms overhead. We'll bend the knees, feet on the ground, heels close to glutes. Press the heels down, lift your hips up. You're just rooting the heels, feeling a stretch in the front of the thighs, front of your hips, an engagement in the glute muscles. Maybe lengthening out the line from the shoulders to the knees. And vertebrae by vertebrae, one at a time, will slowly come down, bone by bone, and softly resting the hips onto your mat. The right heel to the ceiling, fingers behind your right hamstring. Press the low back, reach the right heel up, pull the right thigh. And your right ankle onto your left thigh, right hand presses right leg. So you're opening up your hip. Any little movements in your pelvis. And then we'll lift the left foot off the floor, fingers behind hamstring or shin. And so your right toes reach for your right knee. And as you press the low back down, shift both knees towards your left. Move your left foot back down, right foot back down, lengthen legs, Shavasana. Knees rebend, feet on the mat. Press the feet, lift the hips up. You could tuck your shoulders under this time. Your fingers interlaced below you. Again, one line from shoulders to knees. And your glutes fired up. You could reach the tailbone away. Maybe even engage the thighs and calves. One more inhale. Release the fingertips and take your time coming down. Once the hips have touched the mat, left heel up, fingers behind left hamstring. Reach the heel, press the sacrum down. 3, 2. The left ankle can move onto the right thigh. Use your left hand to open the hip. Create some space there. Then we'll lift the right foot off the floor when you're ready. Again, keeping left foot engaged. Fingers interlace. And knees gently towards the right as you pull the right leg closer. Your right foot down, left foot down, lengthen legs. inhale. And relax your body. Let's take the feet back onto the floor. Shift your hips to the left. Right arm overhead. Roll onto your side. And then using your left hand, make your way up to a table. Hands and knees. With your breath in, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone, heart forward. And as you exhale, round it in. Chin to chest, tuck the tail, push into your palms. And again, inhale. Look up to the roof, biceps forward, U-shape into your spine. And curl in with your exhale. So moving with your breath. Inhale. A deep U shape. We'll tuck your toes underneath, hips to the sky, downward dog. And whatever movements that are useful for you. We'll shift to high plank. Keep the core engaged. Like you're gripping the mat. One line from the heels to the crown of the head. Take a breath in, flex the thighs, bend the elbows, keep your elbows close by your sides. Of course, the knees down is always an option. When you've touched ribs first, we'll peel up baby cobra. So you can gently pull the mat down to lift the heart forward. And then come down to touch. Let's just do 2 more of those, warming up muscles along the spine. Thighs engaged, lift the ribs, and again, like you're pulling the mat. Lower down. So just gently, feeling more engagement in the muscles along the spine. Thighs strong, ribs up, pull the heart forward, shoulders back, and lower down. We'll press into your knees, hips up, press the hands, rise yourself to table, and then your knees wide. Back to child's pose. Hips down, forehead down, elbows down, soften the belly. Rise up to tabletop. We'll tuck your toes underneath, hips up to downward dog. And again, take a moment here. You lift a hip, then the other. Reach a heel, then the other. Can you broaden your shoulders, biceps forward? And then bend both knees, lifting your heels high. Walk the feet up to the top of the mat. So your head heavy, passive fold. Hold opposite elbows. Let the head relax, chin closer to chest. Rock left and right. Gently shifting your weight. And with the knees bent, hands on thighs, press up to stand. Your palms at prayer. Take a full breath in. And hands by your sides. So welcome to this 45-minute Vinyasa class. Enjoy. Inhale the arms wide up overhead, look up. Fold to the floor with the exhale, a gentle bend in your knees. Lengthen up your spine, take a breath in. Bend the knees, hands down, move your right foot back, right knee down. Untuck right toes, left hand, left thigh, right arm up to the ceiling. Take a breath to reach. Lean towards your left as you exhale, press the hips forward. And rise yourself back upright, both hands high. Full breath in, right hand forward, left hand back. So your right foot is back and your right hand is forward. Breath in, lift up, look over the right shoulder. Exhale, twist the rib cage. Take your back hand, sweep it down and up. Full inhale, look up. And the hands down to frame your left foot. Hips rock back, left toes lift. Chin to chest, and your fingers could tiptoe forward. Let's shift back upright, tuck the back toes under, straighten back leg, runner's lunge, hands by your sides. So your left hip back, right thigh strong, thumbs away from you. One more inhale. Hands back down, back knee down, front foot back, tabletop. Look up, lift the tail. And round in as you exhale. One more. Inhale, look up. Toes tuck, hips high, down dog. Left leg up, breath in. Left knee to nose, exhale. Left leg up, breathe in. Look between the hands, move your left foot to the top of your mat. Right heel down, reverse cartwheel. So the right hand comes up. Reverse cartwheel warrior two. Take a breath in, sink a bit deeper into the front knee as you exhale. We'll rotate the front hand to face the ceiling. Dance it back, front arm up. You could rest with the hand on the thigh or the low back. And take a moment to expand the left side of the body, softening the shoulder down. One more breath to reach. We'll cartwheel forward as you exhale. Bring the front foot back, downward dog. High plank as you breathe in. Bend the elbows lower for 3. Slow and steady, thighs strong, core strong for 2. We'll touch down on 1, 3 back sit-ups. Peel up. So your hands are pulling towards the hips. Lower. 2 more times. Thighs are engaged. Lift the ribs. Elbows back. Lower. And 1 more. Touch down. You can tuck your toes if you want or use your knees. Push yourself up to high plank. Take a breath in. Downward dog as you exhale. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Heels up, knees bend. Look between the hands. Walk up. Flat back, breath in. Fold forward, breath out. Toes together, Utkatasana. Arms up, seat down. So lengthen your low back, draw the belly in. Three. Keep lowering the hips, weight to heels for 2. We'll straighten the legs, press down to rise up, look up, lean back. Your core strong, sternum lifted, long lumbar spine. And we'll rise upright, swan dive forward, hands touch down. Lengthen spine, breath in. Bend the knees, hands down, left foot back, left knee down. Untuck back toes, right hand, right thigh, and left up to the ceiling. Full breath, reach, lean towards your right. And gently press the hips forward. And we'll come back upright, both hands high. Breath to reach, move your left hand forward, right hand back. And so again, we're lifting the ribs as you breathe in. Gently twist further, look over the back shoulder. Use your right hand to sweep down and up. Look up, find the back bend, hips forward, and hands down to frame the front foot. Hips rock back, front toes lift. Shift back forward, tuck your back toes under, straighten back leg, push the right foot, runner's lunge. You're leaning into it, keeping the front knee over the heel, back thigh fired up. And 1 more inhale. Hands down, back knee down, front foot slides back. Look up, you shape your spine, cow pose. Round into cat pose. Chin tucks, push your hands. Look back up to the ceiling. We'll tuck your toes underneath, hips high, downward dog as you exhale, the right leg to the ceiling. Take the right knee to your nose as you exhale. Right leg back up, breath in. Look between the hands, right foot to the top of the mat. And your left heel on the floor, left hand reverse cartwheel, here at 2. Take a full inhale. Sink deeper into the front knee, keeping the shoulders lifted. We'll rotate the front hand to face the ceiling, dance it back. Again, expanding the side of the body. 1 more full inhale, and cartwheel with the exhale. Your right foot will move back to downward dog. And rise up, high plank. You can lower the knees if you want, bend the elbows for 3. Elbows by your sides, 2, hips up, touch down on 1, 3 back sit-ups. Peel up, pulling on the mat, and down. So tops of the feet stay on the floor. Lift, lower, and 1 more. Warming up the back body. Back down. You can tuck the toes under if you want, or use your knees. High plank. Breathe in, this time flow. Chaturanga. Ribs through, up dog. Hips up, down dog. Lift your heels up, breath in. Bend the knees, look between the hands, feet, top of mat. Stepping or hopping, your call. Breath in, lengthen. And fold as you exhale. Toes together, Utkatasana. Arms up, seat down. So your shoulders are back, you're lengthening the low back, keeping the core contained. Finding more depth in the hips. And we'll press down to reach up, look up, lean back. You're lifting the sternum, thighs are engaged, elevate. Your shoulders broad, shake in the body. And rise back up, swan dive forward. Hands down to touch. Lengthen spine, inhale. Bend the knees, hands down, right foot back. Press the front foot, runner's lunge, and right away we'll bring the arms wide up overhead. So keeping the 45-degree angle. Just intensifying the work in the front thigh. You're keeping shoulders broad away from ears. Low core contained, back thigh fired up. And then press into the front foot, rise crescent. Take the right hand forward, left hand back. So you can gently bend the back knee. Think of lifting the ribs up, twist to look over the shoulder to the back hand. We'll float the front hand towards the ceiling, back hand to your back thigh. 3, 2, the right hand to the floor, left hand to the ceiling. So right hand comes to the inside of your foot, to the mat, left hand to the ceiling. We'll just take your left hand to the floor. Left foot back, high plank. Take a breath in, come down to chaturanga, but then we'll go back up to high plank. Back up to high plank. Inhale, and then move through a flow. And right away, left leg up, breath in. Left knee, left elbow, shoulders over the wrists. Left leg to the ceiling, breath in. Take your left foot to your right elbow. Squeeze the core. Left leg back to the ceiling, inhale. Take your left foot top of mat. Right heel on the mat. Reverse cartwheel up, warrior 2. Take a full inhale. Bend a bit deeper in the front knee. Rotate the front hand, reverse warrior. Left up, right hand, right leg, or low back, expand. And then we're gonna cartwheel to straight leg triangle. So one more breath. And then as you straighten the front leg, cartwheel forward, left hand down, right arm up. Lift the right hip, the right rib cage, look to the ceiling. And the right hand moves to the floor, bend the front knee. Walk the hands along the mat, Skandasana. So your front toes lift, root the back heel. Your hands could stay on the floor. You could also bring the hands to prayer. Next step, if you want, you could internally rotate the front shoulder to bind behind the right thigh. Wherever you are, we'll release the hands down to the mat. Walk your hands top of mat, back knee down. Arms to the ceiling. Press the hips forward. Lift the ribs, lift the heart up, look up. Hands down to the right of the front foot. Tuck the back toes underneath. Rock your weight back, straighten your left leg, right foot outside of right hand. Malasana. Palms at prayer. So your sternum lifts, core contained. We'll move into our first crow. Hands on the floor, knees behind the triceps. Lean the weight forward. begin to float your feet off the ground. So our next step is only to move the right leg back. So you're going to keep your left knee where it is. When you're ready, only the right foot back of mat. Hold. Left leg to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Come up to high plank, keeping your left foot off the floor, move through a three-legged flow. You can hop the back foot, downward dog. Lift the heels up, bend the knees, travel the feet top of mat. Flat back, and fold forward. Rise up, hands high, and your palms to prayer. Take a big breath in, and hands by your sides. Arms wide overhead, look up, fold to the floor as you exhale. Flat back, breath in. Bend the knees, hands down, left foot back, press the right foot, runner's lunge. And right away, the arms wide, up overhead. So your shoulders are broad, your back thighs engaged. Bend a bit deeper into the front knee. So keep the 45-degree angle. 3, 2, we'll press into the front foot, rise up, left hand forward, right hand back. You can bend the back knee. So you're lifting the ribs, gently twisting open, look towards the back thumb. We'll rotate the front hand to face the ceiling, float the front hand up, back hand to the thigh. We'll take one more breath here. Reach, open up. Your left hand moves to the floor, right hand to the ceiling. So with control. You're twisting open, gazing at the ceiling. Keeping the back thigh fired up and your right hip back in its socket. Inhale to reach. Move the right hand to the floor, right foot back of mat, plank. Inhale. We'll slowly move to chaturanga, but then back up to high plank. So press the floor away, rise up. Inhale, and move through your flow. And right away, right leg to the ceiling, inhale. Right knee, right elbow, shoulders over wrists. Right leg back up, breathe in. Cross the body, right knee to your left elbow. Right leg up, inhale. Look between the hands, the right foot top of mat. Back heel on the floor. Left hand, reverse cartwheel, here 2. Rotate the front hand, reverse. Take a big breath, expand and find more depth in the front knee. So you've been here before, we're cartwheeling towards straight leg triangle. One more breath, expand, and then cartwheel as you straighten the front leg. Lift your left hip, look up. Your right hand could be on the floor, on the ankle. If it's on your leg, bend the knee. We don't want to hyperextend. One more breath to reach. We'll take the top hand down to the mat. Bend the front knee, Skandasana. Hands walk along the mat, lift your right toes up. Take a moment to settle in. And then your hands could lift to prayer. If you want to go to the next step, the front arm internally rotates. Bind behind your left thigh. And with the hands back on the floor, we'll walk the hands top of mat, left knee down. Arms to the ceiling. Press the hips forward. Lift up, grow high, expand, hands down to the left of the front foot. Tuck the back toes, rock your weight back, and your left foot outside of left hand. Again, Malasana to prayer, and our second set of crow. So your hands come to the floor. Knees behind triceps, lean forward, and we'll float the feet off the ground. So instead of dumping the knees down, think of lifting your hips up. And we'll only move your left foot back. So whenever you're ready, left foot all the way back of mat, hold to a 3-leg dog, right leg to the ceiling. 3-legged plank, rise up. Move through your three-legged flow. You can hop your back foot all the way to downward dog. Full breath in. Complete exhale. We'll lift the heels back up on your inhale. Bend the knees, travel the feet top of mat. Flat back and fold forward. Root to rise. Look up. And your palms to prayer. We'll stay right here. Take a full inhale. And hands by your sides. We'll do 3 sun salutations. Arms wide up overhead. Bow forward as you exhale. Flat back. Inhale. Take a bend of the knees. Step or hop the feet back. Move through your flow. 3 breaths in downward dog. Let's try to adjust and find proper alignment as you catch your breath. Then we'll lift the heels when you're ready. Knees bent. Step or hop the feet up. Flat back to fold. Inhale to rise. Core strong. Reach. Palms at prayer. Stay at prayer. Full inhale to lift your heart. Hands by your sides, Tadasana. This is a rest break as well. So 3 breaths Tadasana, 3 breaths at downward dog. And we'll go through 2 more sun salutations. Again, any variations or modifications you need to take, you know your body best, so please listen to your own movement first. Inhale, rise up, look up, and we'll fold as you exhale. Flat back on your inhale. Then into the knees, step or hop back to flow. Rise to up dog, hips to down dog. 3 breaths. Heels up, breathe in. Knees bent, look between the hands, step or float, lengthen, and fold. Rise up, hands to prayer. And lift the heart, grow tall as you inflate. Hands by your sides, 3 breaths. So I guess you could go through 2 more if you wanted to. If you're feeling like energized right now and you want to run through a few of these to, calorie burn, go for it. After a few breaths here, though, I'll be guiding just 1 more. So when you are ready, inhale, the arms wide up overhead. And fold forward with the exhale. Let's go through 1 more Chandra. So we'll inhale the arms wide up overhead. Come into eagle pose. Your right arm under your left. Twist tie. Hips down. Right leg up and over. Right leg lifts. Move it to the back of the mat. Warrior 1. Everything lifts. Bend the front knee. We'll open up. Warrior 1, find the sensation in the body, and then we'll straighten front leg to open, Vira 2. Hands to hips, straighten front leg, pivot in, wide leg forward fold. Let's move the hands towards top of mat. Pivot your left foot to face the front of the mat. So both hands are down. We're going to move our way back towards Malasana. Okay, so bend your back knee. We'll move the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Back to Malasana. We're going to play with crow, a different hand balancing variation. So yeah, give this a try. We'll be taking crow, hopping back to a flow. One for each of these sides. So this is one of those, do it your own, choose your own adventure. If you need a wall near you, we're moving towards like extended crow. So your knees will come behind the triceps. Very similar to the last thing we did. You're leaning in, you're lifting your toes. So instead of hopping the right foot back, you're trying to float the right knee off the right tricep. Lengthening up and landing right foot. Back to flow. 3 breaths in down dog. So again, this is all just optional, right? Like wherever you are in your practice is up to you, but it's always good to test where the opportunities are, to explore the possibility. Let's lift the heels up. When you're ready, move the feet top of mat. So same thing on the next side. Lengthen spine to fold. Rise up, hands high to eagle. Left arm under right. Twist high, hips down. Left leg up and over. 3, 2. Lift the left knee up, warrior 1. Elbows, chin, sternum lift, bend deeper in the front knee. Find the sensation. And the arms can lift towards the ceiling. We'll open to warrior 2. And hands to hips, shifting towards wide leg forward fold. So hands can move behind the back for this variation. Hands down, heart up, fold forward. Hands can fall overhead. And your hands to your low back, then to the floor. So same thing, begin to pivot the front toes, top of mat, walk the hands up. We'll make our way to Malasana, bend the back knee, spring the back foot outside of the hand, hips down. And maybe all you're doing is just the crow. That's still tons of work for your shoulders and your upper body. It's a fantastic pose to continually practice. As long as you're feeling safe, you got pillows, cushions around you, we're not trying to flip over, obviously, right? But just finding that balance with the toes off the ground. So you're leaning forward. Maybe it's just one foot then the other, working your upper body to hold yourself in place. But just like we tried the last time, the left leg, you can start to lift the knee off the tricep. Land whenever you're ready. We'll go through a flow. 3 breaths in downward dog. So even if you're not getting it, it's just even that mind-body connection, the desire, the programming that you're sending. You're building new mind-body connections, new synapses, commands to the body to do something it's never done, potentially. Let's bend the knees and walk the hands back. We'll come to a couple balancing poses. Hands can walk up to your legs. We'll reach for the ceiling. Step forward with your left foot, moving into dancer's pose. Right leg back, pick up the inside of the foot. Kick down and back. 3, 2, shift your weight into a tree pose. So on 1, bring the right knee through, foot, inner thigh. Prayer. And your variation. Hands to center, the right knee forward. Release, arms back up. You can take a step forward with the right foot. Left hand back, capture the inside of the foot. Shift yourself into dancers. control, begin to move your left knee through. Open the knee, foot, inner thigh, making your way towards tree. And once you're stable and centered, any variation you want to play with. Palms to center, the left knee forward. Release the limbs, shoulders up, back and down, and we'll reach for the ceiling. Fold to the floor. And make your way through any variation of a flow. And rise yourself back up to high plank. You can lower the knees if you want. Bend the elbows for 3, 2, we will touch down. Look right, hands by your sides. Long breaths. Flip your palms, open up like a starfish. Hands wide, feet wide, chin on the floor. Chin, ribs, hands, feet, knees, thighs. Lift up. Shoulders back, gaze forward. With your thighs lifted, glutes engaged, hold for 3. Keep lifting. For 2, hands higher, triceps active. And on 1, lower down, look left. Let it go. Knees bent. Reach back to grab the outsides of the feet. Lift the chin ribs. We're going to move up to floor bow. So your thighs off the floor as well. And with control, begin to lower down. Your palms face down, your toes tucked under. Press yourself to high plank. Take an inhale. And then move through a flow. And breathe, hang out and down dog. Relieve everything. Bring the knees down, your knees right up behind your wrists. Toes together, take a seat, hands behind you, and make your way back into sleeping hero. That's your arms overhead if you want to go that far. Whenever you're ready, the hands under the ankles. Make your way upright and walk yourself back. Table to down dog. Let's take the knees down. Upright on the knees. Find your back bend, so heart lifts, elbows close. If you want to tuck the toes to reach for heels, go for it. And when you're ready, rise up and take a seat. Your way back to downward dog. Flow if you choose. We're making our way to pigeon. Left leg can move behind left knee. Ready, rise back up. We'll lean to one hip. Swing the back leg around. So the left foot, inner thigh. Seated side angle pose. Arms up, twist left, elbow, inner thigh. You're lifting towards the ceiling. Perhaps the top hand towards the lengthened leg or palm behind back of the head. Move to joy pose. Left hand to the floor, rise up. Hips back down, look out towards the lengthened leg. Reach high, fold over the thigh. You could move your left hand to the outside of the foot, right hand low back for a gentle twist. Maybe even the right hand pressing the thigh down as you twist. We'll rise back up, hands to the ceiling, and the hands wide to the floor. Keep the right leg long. We'll take your other foot up and over. Hug the left thigh close to you, and then twist. Maybe the elbow outside of thigh. Inhales to lift, exhales to twist. Back to center, counter. And we'll come back forward, the left shin parallel, top of mat, hands down. Front foot back, king pigeon. Bend the right knee, left hand cartwheels to grab the right foot. We'll lower the right foot down, left hand down, left leg to the ceiling. We'll flip the dog to wild thing. And flip back over, feet on the floor. Right leg up, move your way towards pigeon. To the floor, rise yourself up, lean your weight to the side of the hip and swing the back leg out and around. Right foot, inner left thigh. Arms up, twist, left elbow or hand to the floor. You're opening up and then reach the right fingers towards lengthened leg, maybe behind the head. rise yourself up to joy pose. Right hand to the floor, hips up. Open the front of the body. Land the hips, look towards the long leg. Reach high, fold over the thigh. You could move your right hand outside of the foot, left hand low back, and open. And back to center, arms up, and hands wide. Floor behind you, keep your left leg long, right foot up, and over. Left hand pulls your right thigh in. Row and twist. Perhaps the elbow outside of thigh to get a bit deeper. Back to center, counter. So we'll shift the right shin, top of mat, left leg back, king pigeon. Bend your back knee, and the right hand reaches back to grab the back foot. And release, tuck the back toes under, right hand down, lift up, lift the right leg, open, wild thing. And flip back over, last shot for a flow if you want it. When you're ready, we'll lower the knees down and just shift yourself to your back. If you want to grab water, you're welcome to, but we'll keep the feet on the floor whenever you've made your way back. Just one last press of the feet to lift. Any last hip mobility. Shift around as it feels useful. You can bring the hips down, the knees into the chest. Again, any movement of your knees. Explore for sensation. And whenever you're ready, final Shavasana. So get yourself comfortable, take up even more space. And then power down. Complete observation mode. Can you hold that state of curiosity? Where do you feel the buzz? Keep the tip of the tongue touching just behind the top two teeth, closing off that circuit. But then relax your jaw. I invite you to embrace this meditation, to stay here in the stillness. Continue practicing deep peace, an inner calm. And as you get good at practicing that feeling of calm, you can bring that into the rest of your life. fantastic day ahead, guys. Namaste.